Well, folks, the NFL season is over, which means it's time to get excited for the next NFL season. So the Combine has started, and today's actually the last day. The offensive linemen are getting their stats tracked and all that, but all three of the K-State players who attended the Combine, their stuff is done and over with, and I just want to talk about, reflect on the data, look at the data, and that's pretty much all we're doing. I'm not going to add much commentary. I'm not going to try to, at least. So for most of the video, I'm probably going to be down here in the lower right-hand corner, so we can just go ahead and, we'll go ahead and throw myself down there real quick. First of all, we got some fast dudes here at K-State, and that was proved at the Combine. Jacob Parrish ran a 4.35 second 40-yard dash, which puts him as 9th fastest for the Combine. And then down here, Sigle ran a 4.37, which makes him the 14th fastest. So K-State's got some fast guys, man. 2 of the top 15 is pretty dang good, so that's cool to see. We're going to start off talking about Parrish because Parrish had the highest stats. His prospect grade was a 6.20, which usually puts him at being an eventual starter. He had a lower production score at 68, but an athleticism score of 90, which put him at a combined score of 77, which makes him the 8th ranked Combine quarterback. I don't have much else to add to him, to be honest. I'm just going to let his body of work speak for itself. I'm just talking here and annoying you all, so you guys can read the screen right now if you would like to read the screen. And now if you want to keep reading the screen, you're going to have to pause it because I'm going to go to the next dude, which is Sigle. I just want to hit the two secondaries back to back. So Sigle had a better production score at 71 with an athleticism score of 84, meaning he had a total score of 71, which ironically also puts him as the 8th for his position, which is the safety. He got a total prospect grade of 5.87, so average backup or special teamer. And as for his analysis, again, I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to let you guys read it if you would like to. Something that I thought was cool that was pointed out was his team captain. He was a team captain with a respected work ethic. I like those kind of notes that are added into the strengths and weaknesses and analysis because those aren't always seen at the Combine. So having that in there is cool in my opinion. Because it's definitely an important factor that needs to be pointed out when it comes to picking dudes. So if you want to keep reading it, you're going to have to pause it now because I want to talk about the next guy, Mr. DJ Giddens. Now, before I go into the Combine's stat breakdown, I want to turn it over to Mr. Kent Lee Platt. Terrible pronouncing names. I apologize. His scoring had DJ Giddens at a 9.89 out of a possible 10, which ranked 22 out of over 1,900 running backs since 1987. Pretty dang good. And that's thanks to a quick 40-yard dash at 4.43 seconds. He also had an elite explosion grade. So even with a kind of just good composite size grade, his 40-yard dash and his explosiveness picked up the slack, and for at least for Kent's rankings, put him at 22nd out of over 1,900, which is pretty cool to see. So getting now into the NFL Combine's analysis over him, he's rated at 5.94, so average backup or special teamer. Production score of 77 with an athleticism score of 83 puts him at a total score of 78, which ranks him as 9th in the running backs among the Combine running backs, which ain't too bad. That's not too bad at all. Again, his biggest thing was that he ran that 40-yard dash in 4.43 seconds, which was pretty huge. I'll let you read the analysis if you would like to, but not going to add a whole lot to this. Other than I will say DJ Giddens, I think, was very underrated this entire year. I think he was underrated even going into the draft. I hope that the 40-yard dash especially, and just everything else, has given him the respect he deserves and has increased his draft stock by quite a lot. It seems like the sentiment on Twitter is that he earned himself a good payday. I certainly hope that's true. Me personally, of course, I'm going to be a little biased, but I would take a DJ Giddens on my team any day of the week. I love DJ Giddens' strengths listed here, though. Workhorse with good size and strong production. I think workhorse is it's the best way to describe DJ Giddens. Again, doing all the dirty work, not afraid to do the little things. And I mean, he puts his nose to the grindstone. He's not a very loud dude, which I think can actually be appreciated these days. I think this is workhorse is like just such a precise, perfect word for him. I think another thing that is pointed out that I'm glad was pointed out is he had only one fumble in his last 2 seasons, over 428 carries, which is pretty huge. Having a guy that's able to protect the ball like that, especially at the running back position, is pretty big. So again, I think Giddens has a very good chance on getting drafted higher than a lot of people expected. He's a great running back. He's big. He's strong. He knows how to. He does the quiet, dirty work. He's a great player. So shout out to him. If you want to keep reading the analysis, you're gonna have to pause it now because there's one more dude I want to talk about. And to the people who know me, they probably know who I'm going to talk about. I want to talk about Will Howard real quick. I know he's not Kansas State anymore. He's Kansas State enough, though, that I care about him enough to talk about him, though. So, Will Howard got a 6.0, which just puts him on the benchmark of traits or talent to be an above average backup. He got a pretty lengthy analysis, and honestly, I agree with most of what the analysis has to say. Again, I don't want to commentate too much on it, but I'm going to right quick because I think the biggest thing for me is that he was more of a vessel of the play caller than playmaking talent. I think that's a fair analysis. He did very well at Ohio State because he's a good player, but also because he had very good talent around him, which I don't think is an unfair thing to say. I think Howard even admitted that himself before the season began. Something I'm surprised wasn't mentioned here is that they didn't really talk about his leadership, and I think that a lot of people at both Ohio State and Kansas State saw in him a lot of leadership and knowing how to rally the guys, and both of those are really important for being a quarterback. So I'm a little surprised that isn't mentioned. Now, I mean, it's not mentioned in weaknesses either, which, I mean, why would it be? But I'm just kind of surprised that wasn't really talked about, because I think that that's a large reason why you probably want Howard, is because he knows how to rally the troops, and I'm just a little surprised about that. Of course, it talks about his size, which of course Howard's a big dude, especially for the quarterback position. He got a lot faster this season at Ohio State, according to him and his teammates. I still think he's a little clumsy at times, but I mean, when you're as big of dude as Howard, I mean, you kind of have to. I mean, you don't have to be, but like, it comes with the territory, you know. So, but I feel like his analysis was pretty spot on. And yeah, if you want to keep reading it, pause it now. But I'm going to wrap up the video here. So what do you think about the K-State guys going to the draft this season? Where do you think they're going to be drafted? Which teams do you think they're going to be drafted to? If you have any predictions, leave them down in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching. Appreciate y'all. Hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Rest up. If you're watching K-State Athletics, there's 3 big games happening today. Baseball might be done by the time this video is uploaded, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.